guys, welcome to the PhlatLAB.
Hello everybody.
Whew, I just shaved faster than any human should. Got little Japanese flags all over the bathroom floor. Oh, still bleeding. Anyway, everything's a total wreck here. We've been super busy with V-Slot. If you haven't heard, we're working on a new extrusion called V-Slot. It kind of replaces T-Slot because it's T-Slot plus, plus it has a linear rail built into it. It has a V-track built into it. Super cool. And just been working crazy on trying to get everything set up for that. So I've been real busy with that.
Because we're about to launch a Kickstarter for it.
Yep, we are, man. So make sure you guys tune into that, please. And what was I going to tell you guys? Sorry. We had a plan for a couple of weeks ago for a show that for the Seth guys. We found this really cool plane. It glows in the dark. Well, you can make it glow in the dark. And we thought this would be a great combat plane, you know, to take out in the night flights. But we just haven't had a chance to do it yet. And I have all the files and stuff. I just have to get it worked up. But Captain C was the one that turned us on to that one. So thanks, Captain C, if you're listening. But today, what I was thinking we could do tonight is that Pope Dan on the platform.
Sorry.
His name's Dan, sorry. And he went through and posted, he worked up, G. Grimley on RC Groups came up with this plane called the Soli. And it's a slow flying, you know, tractor, top wing, but it's real old timer looking. It's kind of cartoonish looking. It's in the announcement today if you haven't seen it. So one of the things is all the parts are laid out flat. And I thought, you know, there's all these parts and pieces. And I thought, man, it's going to be a pain in the neck to try to figure out how to build this thing. So what I was thinking we could do is go through and kind of make it like a tutorial and, you know, show how you take a flat, a group of flat parts like that and in SketchUp and how you rotate them or group them components and basically put them into a 3D model that you can build from. And then I'll post that so people can build that plane from that model without second guessing where everything goes. I'm not exactly sure where everything goes either, but it'll be a lot easier once we have the 3D model of it.
Right. So
I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Yep, and at the end of the show, we'll also let you view our sneak peek of our Kickstarter, V-Slot Kickstarter preview.
We will.
Video. Yeah.
Hey, this is way off.
Just so you know what we've been doing, because I know the last 2 weeks we haven't been able to have a show, so this is what we're working on. So.
Yeah, we've been super busy on that.
Yeah.
But the other night, and I'm probably way behind on this because I hardly ever watch TV, but I saw this show called Duck Dynasty. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's hilarious, man. I love that show. It's really cool. But anyway, if you get a chance to check it out, check it out. It's really funny. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? So anyway, we'll go through and get that going, and hopefully it'll be helpful. I found out some pretty cool stuff lately on SketchUp. One thing in particular that I found out, I'll show you on the tutorial. It's pretty cool how you can. It helped me out a lot. I didn't know you could do this, but holding down Shift, you can basically lock in when you're dragging a part. You hold down Shift, and it will lock it on that axis, whether it's a true XYZ axis or even an axis that's off to one of the sides or whatever at an angle. It will lock it, and then once you have that lock on, you can point at something else, and it'll snap it right to it. It's saved me so much time, man. Normally I have to go into X-ray mode and try to find where it's at, and I still have to do that sometimes, but what's nice about it is I don't have to do that as much. I can just grab it, slide it over, and I think it'll help improve the speed of a lot of you guys' designs if you don't know how to do that already. So, we'll work.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's way cool. I love that show. Chris has seen that show. It's hilarious, man. It's unscripted, supposedly.
Yeah.
But
probably started out that way, or starting out that way, but eventually.
What's cool about that show is they're true to form, man. Especially the old guy, Cy. I love him, the uncle. Oh, he's hilarious. Hey. Anyway, all right. So we'll get started on this, and let me switch this over real quick to the.
Are we recording?
Check. Hey guys, sorry about that. Hey, gummit. What I was saying was there's a. I was basically going over saying this is the post that Dan put up there. It looks awesome, and I was saying how I like the fact that unpainted. I really like the look of it being unpainted, and I was showing that you can see he has the bamboo skewers in here, and you know, just by studying these pictures, like this threw me off for a little while, this brace here. But studying these pictures, you can kind of get an idea of how this 3D model will be built. As a matter of fact, I think you could really simplify this plane by making a few different connection points. I'm not going to get into that part of it, but I just want to show you how to build a 3D model of it. This is my favorite picture of it. And there's a couple things like this rounded front thing. You don't actually have to take the actual part and make that. You can make it and people are going to know where that goes. This angle back here, you don't have to angle that in the 3D model. It's pretty obvious if you have the piece under here and it's smaller than the piece up here, it has to angle for it to work once you glue it together. So there's some things, just to have the 3D model is nice to know where the pictures go together. And here's the SketchUp. It's been downloaded 8 times.
Pope Dan's on, and he said he can tell us where the parts go.
Sweet. Okay, so let me switch over. I got it loaded into SketchUp here. And I also brought the picture in so we could see it. I just slapped that down to the ground. And I hope this is going to show up in the green. I think it will. Okay, so what I like to do is, just like he has it here, I work up all the parts, lay them out like that, and then, lay them all out and then work them up with the SketchUp. And then I go through and you can just grab, you know, I always start with the fuselage usually. So I'm just going to grab that and bring it over here, and I'm going to paint it white. It lets me. There we go. I don't want to paint, wait, take that back. I don't want to paint the lines white. I just want the face of it white. As a matter of fact, why is it painting that thing? Because I'm on the ground? Huh. No, oh. It helps to have the color in the... Okay, that's good.
Paint it white?
Paint it white, man. I think it would look great white. Okay, so, you know, triple click it, and then I've got a shortcut set up for component. I just hit one key, but if you don't, you can, my key is G for make component. I don't know why I picked G. That should be group. But anyway, that's my component there. I'm going to leave that up for a while. And I'm just going to go through and grab some, one of these double parts that I know I only need one of. Where's that other thing? And just go through and grab some of these. And then using control, I'm going to bring them over here. And I'm just going to paint them white real quick. Let's see. You know what? I'm not going to paint these white. I think I'm better off just because they're already white on one side. So I'm just going to flip them along the blue axis, which is the Z axis, straight up and down. So once you do that, you have blue on one side and the white default texture on the other.
Jeez, I thought the other method of painting was fast.
You did?
Until you just flip it over, they're all white.
Yep.
Good color choice.
Okay, so we have to flip this one too. So flip along the blue. Okay, so let's triple click, group. Component.
Hi, Chuck. Chuck's asking what kind of power system would you use on this plane?
I'm thinking I didn't even ask, but I'm thinking a Blue Wonder would be sweet. Because, of course, that's my favorite. Just completely general, all-purpose power system. I'm just going to drag one of these wheels over and flip it, flip along the blue. Group it. And this one, I can bring it over. What else? Okay, we need these. One of those. I'm taking it that's part of the engine.
The piece for the angle is the gauge for the wing.
Oh, this one is?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want that done. Thanks. Let's get rid of this cutout here. And this one. And let's go ahead and flip all these. Excuse me. So we've been super busy with that V-slot. That's been a real project. And hopefully, I know it's not really up everybody's alley here as far as, into the planes and stuff, but it is. I mean, this is going to allow us to create some really awesome machines that is going to be a lot more cost effective and, just basically do whatever we want with machine design, which is awesome. We can bring out the new flat printer. We can bring out hot wire cutters and just, create all kinds of cool machines, man. I've got a lot of cool ideas for machines. What are these? And what are these?
Power speed 400 outrunner, low KV. Commercial went on when you said what kind of power system.
What?
A commercial went on when you were saying what kind of power system. For Chuck.
What did I just do? Okay, so just like I said, grouping these, and then we'll go through and ask Dan which ones they are. Now, I could go through and I could extrude all these. Let me close this. Out to 1/4 inch, but instead of doing that, I don't want to do that now because there's some areas I know I do want to fold. Oh, there's a couple things I missed here. These guys in particular. And flip these and group them. Okay. So we know we're working with 1/4 inch material. Let's see what our models are set up for as far as units. Okay, we're set up architectural. I'm going to go to decimal. It's easier for me. And I'll do 3 decimal places, and I'm going to snap this to a 1/16 of an inch. So 0.625 is a 1/16, Hit OK. And that's good. Now, let's start with this guy right here. So now that everything is in a component, you'll notice when you use the move tool that you can, when you hover over it, you get the red pluses where you can do your rotating, or you can just move it. So I'm taking you guys already know all this stuff. So I'm going to rotate that. If you look down here, you can see what angle you're at. Or you could just type in 90. Oops, I messed up. Let's see if that works before I type in 90. There. Okay, so what we're going to do, what I like to do is I like to work on, one side at a time. And to be honest with you, I don't like working this. Hold on, something's not straight about this part. Let's go through the undos here. Aha! I don't like the idea of the front facing to the left, so I'm going to flip this along the red axis so it faces that way. And let's rotate that again. Now we're straight. Now remember, using the middle mouse button, if you press it down, it gives you the orbit function. If you hold down the shift key while you're orbiting, you get the hand function, which is nice. Really nice. Okay, let's bring this up a little bit. And like I said, I'm going to work on half of the plane. So, well, I'm missing another thing too. No, I'm not. There it is. Okay. Let's see. Half the plane. What do we want first? Let's take this thing, according to the picture. It gets that right there at an angle. So let's take this and bring it over. Let's rotate it. You have to orbit just in the right direction to get this, to get these little plus signs to show up, these little handles for rotating. And you'll notice something about this part. It has a little notch at the end. I found out later that's where the axle goes. And I believe this is where the spar goes for the rubber band, where that hole is at the top. Okay, so I'm going to grab this corner here, bring it up and touch this corner. And then I'm going to grab my protractor tool. And the thing about the protractor is if you hover over a face, it'll lock to that axis. Here's the ground, that's the blue axis. Here's this side, and this is the side we want to rotate. So once you have that locked on here, sometimes it's really hard because it keeps switching, especially if you have different angles. So what you want to do is once you have it hovering and you have the proper axis, then just hold down shift, and now you're locked. No matter where you go, it'll be on that axis. And then click it where you want it, and I want to line up with the front edge of this windshield, so that looks pretty good. And I'm noticing that there's a little bit of a, I'm noticing there's a little bit of an angle here, which I'm guessing that it's just a mess up, because if I look at the plan here, I can see there's a little bit of an angle missing. So, or the angle's off. So you could go through here and actually cut this even if you wanted to. But it's one of those things that you could pinch off while you're building too. Alright, so we know that we're using 1/4 inch foam. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull it out. And if you look down here on the right hand side, you'll notice I'm pulling along the green axis. I can hold shift and it will lock it on that axis. And see how that green line gets fatter? If I let go of shift, it gets thinner. So that's how you know you're locked on. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to, we're using 1/4 inch material, so I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to type in 0.250, enter, and now we have a 1/4 inch. Because this is going to be, I always consider looking at these lines and faces as if they're the center of the foam. So if you put these two back to back, you're going to have an 1/8 sticking out this side and an 1/8 sticking out that side. So you need a 1/4 inch gap between them.
That's a good way to look at it.
You get used to that. And then, okay, So let's grab this, which I believe is the bottom. And we're actually going to have to flip this one along the blue again because it's going to be on the inside. So it'll be like that. Let me scroll out of here. Okay, now we want to get this angle too, so I'm going to once again hover over the side, hold down shift, click here. Once you click, you can let go of the shift, by the way. And then just grab one of these sides and work your way down to this thing. Now you'll notice you might have a hard time. It's nice that you can orbit, but you might have a hard time clicking on that. And if you do, you can turn X-ray mode on and you'll click on there a lot quicker, a lot simpler, I should say. Just to get that angle. Now, one of the things you may notice is that if you look at this plane, the tail section goes in. So there, it all comes to a point back there at that tail. So we could cut the plane in the front here if we wanted to. We could take and cut this down like this and kind of simulate that bend. But in order to do that, we'd have to break this apart, because what's going to happen is if I take this and I try to well, first of all, let me get this over where it's supposed to be. You'll notice as I move along here, it'll lock on, and once it locks on, the dot will turn blue. That's how you know you're touching the face. I don't know if that's showing up or not, but anyway, it's touching the face. So if you look now, we need to bend this tail section over. So like I said, I broke the line there, and if I grab this, actually, well, you could do it either way. I guess you could break the line right here if you wanted to, because if you look at this, it actually is straight up to this point right here. Let me try that, see what happens. Find that straight point. It's hard to zoom out. If you're trying to zoom out and it's real slow, look for a part, because once you find a part, you can hover your mouse over it, and for some reason it zooms out quicker. Yeah, I don't know why. So somewhere right in here, if we were to draw a line straight along the blue axis, which this is going to be right in the way. Probably don't need this line anymore. We can get rid of this. Okay, let's see what happens if we try to bend this. What I think is going to happen is it's going to just distort this face like crazy. Okay, so we want to rotate this thing like this is a hinge point right here. In order to do that, we need to find a surface that's flat like this, because the pin goes straight through the center of this, the pin of the hinge. So basically, you point your protractor at the floor, hold down shift, and then click right there. And now this is your pin. This is your pivot point. You can go to the tail section now, click on that, and move it over, and then let go of it. Let's take a look at it. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm surprised that worked. Okay, but it worked, so that's good. Let's bring this one up. See how this looks on here. Remember, grab the corners and then just kind of lock onto them. Let's see where this one is. If you take this off, you can see it has a straight point right here. Maybe it's supposed to overlap a little bit. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go by this. I'm going to go by this tail section as my starting point, I think. Another thing about SketchUp is if you're, let's say you're close to something, and you're trying your best to move it over to that edge, but it keeps wanting to lock onto the edge. Just move it out of the way, like out here somewhere, and then move it back and start messing with it. And if you can't get it to lock, once again, which I did, but if you can't, even with the part in hand here, go up here and click on your X-ray tool, and it makes everything so much easier.
That's
Now,
really
one of the things
tip.
I wanted to show you, one of the new features that I've learned, it's so simple, I can't believe I didn't know about it, but let's say that I wanted to line up this tail section with this is exactly what I want to do.
Actually, it says the piece you just put in, the bottom goes up front.
The bottom goes up front.
The piece you just put in the bottom goes up front. Yep,
Oh, I see. Okay. So, all right, that's a good example too. So this has to line up with the front, is what he's saying. This front has to line up with this edge. So if that's the case, just grab this front edge and after you start moving along an axis, like you can see I'm moving along this red axis here, hold down shift, the line will get fatter, and then just move out here to this edge and you'll see you can lock to any edge you want to. You can even lock to center points.
He said that's the curve piece.
What is?
The piece you just put in the bottom goes up front, and then he said that's the curve piece. I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's not supposed to get back there all the way. Let's take a look at this picture again. It's hard to tell from this picture, but it looks like it goes all the way to the back here and then curves under here, under the base.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I picture it. Let me see something. Oops. Let me just build it and see what, and I can see where, you know, after I start getting it put together, maybe I can see where I'm wrong, you know.
Right.
Because at this point, it's all guesswork. Let's see where this is lining up. Okay. Now, like I said, we don't have to show this part being angled in and all that. I just, you know, it's already angled there. I could go through, I guess, and do that, but it's kind of it just would be a nightmare. I'd have to separate this part, and you know, foam bends a lot easier than these polygons. So I'm not going to mess with that right now. I'm going to put the windshield in. Let me see which way that goes. Got it. I'll just start putting these random parts on there and kind of see where they go. I grab this corner, bring it up here. Let's see here. Oops. I'm going to select it, use my protractor, line up with one of the sides so I can actually make my hinge point. Pop my hinge in there. And this one's going to be a little difficult because it's hidden. But I'm going to grab this edge and try to snap it right here. There we go. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's grab the wheel. Now if you look at the picture, it looks like 1, 2, 3 wheels. Mm-hmm. So let's hey, are you cooking? I smell something.
Yeah, I have something in the oven.
Alright. Let's bring that up. Now hit control and I'm going to hit control so I can copy this. Bring it up, and it doesn't matter where you put it, just as long as it's in this direction. So I'm going to click, and then I'm going to put 0.250, hit enter, and then I'm going to say times 2, and that'll give me 3.
Nice.
I could have, you know, you could do that for a lot of things. You could do whatever movement you go, you could do times 5, bam, and it'll put that exact spacing that you put in there. You can do that for parts that you rotate. You know, you could go over here, hit control, times 5. Bam, make a little array there. But we're not doing that. So let me group these. Now we can work this as a whole. And one of the things I want to do here is put a little handle so we can work with this wheel. Just, you know, roughly find the center of this. whoops, this hole here. Come on. Every once in a while I get lag and I zoom right past the thing.
Dan said that goes at an angle.
What does?
Whatever you were working on 2 minutes ago. Sorry.
Oh, the windshield? It is at, I did put that
Okay.
at
All right. Sorry. I
Come on, keep up.
missed that for a minute. I was looking at the thread.
Alright, so let's go down here and here's where the wheel is. Snap that there.
Yeah, the windshield. Thanks, Dan.
What did I do? Bring us out to here. You know, somewhere in that area. Now we know we're sort of centered with where the axle will be. And I'm going to bring us out. And once again, I can just grab it here and bring it right through that body. And when I see blue, I know I'm on that edge. So now we need a 1/4 inch. So keep going along the green, 0.250. Now, actually, we need more than a 1/4 inch because I forgot that this is already sticking out. So let's do that again, 0.250. That looks pretty, oops, that looks pretty good. Okay, now.
Not bad.
Starting to come together.
Mm-hmm.
I really do enjoy doing this part of it, you know. This is actually a lot of fun. Let's bring these wheels together. Not wheels. This wing together. Staring at the wheels, talking about the wing. Something like that. And group that. And let's, yeah, well, let's spin it while we're here.
Good idea.
And let's spin this one too. We can actually put this in place. Now for these, any slots or tabs, let's grab them right in the center. Line it up. We know we're dealing with a 1/4 inch foam, so go up on the blue and type in 0.250. That separates them by 1/8 inch. And let's bring this up. Spin it. I'm going to flip this. I don't know if it'll let me do it. There you go. I just grabbed the corner of this tab. But really what I want is the center here, because it's going to be going into this. Let's see something real quick. Let's see how much room is here. Okay, this should be a 1/4. 0.250. There. My bad. That should be an 1/8. Not a 1/4.
0.125.
You got it. 1.125. What did I do? 0.125. I guess it's snapping to an 1/8 and I can't see it. It's close. 0.125.
There you go.
Okay, let's see where those tabs actually go. So that kind of holds everything together, doesn't it?
The wing tip does angle up.
The wing tips angle up. That's what that thing's for?
Uh-huh.
Alright, well. You can play at that game. We can put angles in there. I'm not going to put the rounded edge of the wing. I mean, that's pretty much a given from the picture. It's going to roll. It's got to roll, actually, because you got all these ribs, airfoil ribs here. Let's see. Okay, so let's just snap that right here. No, let's snap it right here. And then let's take a look at it from here. We'll go into here. Remember, using our protractor. This time it's on the red, but regardless, we're going to hit shift because we want it to pivot right here. And click. I'm going to go out to here. Anywhere, it doesn't matter. And then when you click here, that's what's going to happen right there. It's going to line it up.
Nice.
We can do the same thing on this side. Just flip this thing on the green. Not bad. I always do it the wrong way. But look, I'm moving on the green. So you would think if you right click it and flip it along green, it would work, but it doesn't. What?
Nothing.
Why do you want to laugh? Okay, let's shift. That shift is helpful. Okay. There. We got some wings. Now, let me throw this up here. I think I know where this goes. This is all guesswork, you know? Virtually building the plane. If you practice this, you get really good at it. Okay, let's hold down shift. And make that our pivot point and just bring this down to it. Now that one's giving me a little trouble, isn't it? It doesn't want to lock, it's just floating there. Okay, so let's find a point where we'll lock to, right there. Okay. And let's take and, let me see, I'm going to grab all these miscellaneous bits. Which are these? Not that many. And I'm going to copy them. And then I'm going to open up my main fuselage and go paste them inside here. And then I'm going to grab a familiar thing like this handle. It could be an edge, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just grab something. And then line it up with the ones that are on the outside of this component, right there.
No, not there.
What? Let's and then go out of the component, which I just did, and delete the originals. So now all these parts are in the component. Let's take that whole section. We're going to hit Control, bring it out here. We're going to flip it on the green. Hopefully, oops, on the green. We're going to flip it along the red. Nope, we're going to flip it along the blue. And then we'll bring it back in until it clicks onto the. Let me get back out of here. Find a place to actually stick it to. We'll stick that top corner here right to the top here. Bam. Starting to look like an aircraft. There. Now, we need didn't I have like, oh, here it is. Huh? I thought I had little arches for the motor, where the motor goes. Oh, here they are. Okay, so bring that up and then spin it around. Bring it up here. I'm just going to stick it here for now. I know it's not centered. And I could go through and center it, but if you look, you can find the center point here, and then you could actually lock it to something, anything down here that has a center. You can find. Okay, that has a center. So we're centered between the two now. We can bring it out. Once again, you can hit Shift and bring it right to the end if you wanted to, but I know it doesn't go there. And it also needs to go up. So I need to line this. I need to line this up, and you'll notice it's floating here. So, hey, I'm way off on that one. Hold on. This windshield's off. Didn't see that. So we need to line this windshield up first. Let's find the center. Let's move along the green axis, holding Shift down. Find the center of that. Bam. Do the same thing here. I'm going to find the center here. Even if I was way out here, it's hard to see the center of this arch. That's because you'll notice that we're not actually hitting the center. So I'm going to go into this part, and just as I suspected, this is made up of 2 lines.
That piece goes on the dashboard.
So let's get rid of these. And let's make it one solid line, so when we look for center, we're finding a true center. Reverse these.
So we have video lag, and then we have Trish lag. So how's the build going?
It's laggy. Okay, so I'm going across, and I'm just going to hold down Shift, and then look for the center, and bam, I'm centered. I love that. That is so nice.
Cool.
All right, I believe this is part of the where the engine sits. Absolutely not. It goes up here. It's like, let me just double check that.
Oh, I forgot to add in the chat lag.
Aha.
A whole new dimension of lag.
I'm gonna pivot this down. Once again, using Shift to lock that point. Grab where you want the pin to be for the pivot.
If you guys ever see the chat lag where sometimes it goes up like 60 seconds or something, if you refresh the page, you generally get a better connection. I mean, it'll correct itself too, but if you don't want to wait, just hit refresh.
You expect us to believe that?
It's true.
Flip along the blue axis. Group it. And this is bound to be the motor mount. I mean where the motor mounts. I'm not really seeing a true center here either. You'll notice. So that line, it has multiple lines in it, but this one looks okay.
That was the rounded piece up front, but use DT foam instead. That was the rounded piece up front.
Bring this back. Now what I could do is, there was a good example. I wanted to line up this front edge. But in order to do it, I had to move that back along the red axis, and then you have to start moving it on the axis first. Then hit Shift, and then find the part that you want to line it up with. If I want to line it up with this, I could. With this, I could. But I'm trying to line up here. But you know, that part looks a little long, to be honest with you. I wonder. Well, there's 2 of them, so let's see something here. Are they the same size? Yes, they are. They are the same size. However, this is much bigger. This is the roller underneath. So let's flip this along the blue to get our white look. Actually, since it's going underneath, and this is the part I wanted to show you guys. Instead of going through and actually, you got this rounded edge here. So instead of trying to draw a bunch of lines in this thing and bend it around the corners, let me say something here. You know, it would take forever to do that. You know, if you were to line this up and then try to go through and then go to every, you know, bring this down and then try to put a line here and bend it again and try to put another line. Forget about it. It's not worth it. You're better off, you know, all this is in groups and components, so you're better off just making a, let me do something real quick. I'm going to go in here and hide these wheels and this thing. And then get out of here. Look for a straight, an area where it breaks, which is right here. I can see it has a little bit of a point right here to right here. So just take an arc there and get relatively close, because it's way easier to do this. Bring this one over, and then just grab that arch and copy it over to here. And then you can take that whole assembly, move it out away from there, and you can look at it, and you'll notice this arch, you can't really find any bend points. But now this new one, we can. There are segments in it. And you can actually take your pencil and go over, and you'll see it'll lock to them. It'll turn green. And then just go straight across on the axis, and you should, if we did it right, and it didn't do it that time, but you should be able to get a face here. There we go. There's other ways to do this too. This is just one way to do it.
Looks like it works great.
It works pretty good, especially when you're building the plane. Because now, you know, when you're building it virtually before the original design's done. Because you could go through and, let me group this real quick. Another way to turn the outside of this white is to triple click on it and hit reverse faces. By the way. What was I going to show you? Yeah, you could quickly go through and, let me explode this, and unfold it if I have my unfold plug-in here. Yeah. And this could actually be your part. One of your last unfolds should be, when you're working with the unfold plugin, make sure you put a square down here, because your last fold you want it to throw the whole part down. So let me redo that real quick. I know what am I doing there? I know I'm getting off track, but just wanted to show you, because if you are unfolding something, you want to make sure that you lay it completely flat. So, you know, the unfold tool is great. It'll bring it down to the very last thing that you unfold it, which is at that angle, which is not so great when you're trying to lay out flat parts. So make sure you have a square there. When you click it, bam, that's it goes instantly to the flat plane, because that square is laying out here on the flat plane. And that's what the unfold tool does. It follows the next click wherever you click it to. So then that would be your part. All you would do is erase these lines, and that would give you the proper size. And that part could have tabs in it, slots, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's get back to it. Let's bring this in to here. And that just gives you, you know, that gives you the bend there. There's also another bend here, but I'm not even going to get into that. Let me bring this up. Actually, let's bring this thing up. It's crooked. It's not angled like it should be. So I'm going to make my pivot point here. Once again, shift is your friend whenever you're trying to lock any instance like that. Well, I'm looking for this little edge, right? This little corner here. I'm going to try to line it up with this corner, which is really hard because I'm in my own way here, as usual. So I'm going to hit X-ray mode and see there. Now, let's bring this up. I don't know why these aren't tabbed to tell you exactly where they go, but they're not. They could be. I'm going to put one there, put one here, and put one there. I know there's a little motor piece, or a little piece here. I think this is it here. And I believe it goes up there. I'm not sure. To kind of tell you how far back that should be. Now look at the picture again real quick. But just guessing. So Okay, and here's another thing. Looking at this, you know, I could easily make an arch here for this top one. Just like that. Put a line across here. And now I can take that arch. Oops. Oh, just messed up, didn't I? Bring it out here. You know, we could take that and just extrude it. And then we can just cut the bottom off. And it makes, you know, making that shell a whole lot easier. And we'll group it. And we'll bring it back. We know that that part's already down there. So, and then we'll just take this and move it back to there somewhere. It's not actually straight. So that's a quick way to do it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm actually out too far, it looks like, on both of these. I'm going to grab this side and bring it over to here. And I'm going to grab this side and bring it over to here. And we could actually move that in, but I'm not even going to move that in because remember, we're dealing with 1/4 inch foam. Whoops. So we're getting it. Let's start a wing up there. And I'm just going to line the wing up with the center. I might actually bring it up, and I'm once again holding down shift, and I'm just going to lock it right there. And of course, we can look at the picture and see that it curls. See, that looks good. Let's go in here and hit unhide. Oh, if you hide something in a component or a group like that, you have to go into it and hit where is it? And hit unhide all. Unless it was the last thing that you hit. If it was the last thing you hit, you could just hit unhide last, and it would do it. Now I know there's a couple little miscellaneous pieces. I'm going to group this whole thing. But to be honest, I'm not sure where they go. So I am going to post what I have so far and see if Dan can help out with that.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm going to put a just a piece of ground down here. And one last time, let's grab the lowest point here, bring it down, and see if we can get it to lock on the blue axis. You know, I can get it to lock like that, but it's a whole lot easier to hit shift and just pick an edge to lock it to. Now that should be on the, there it is right there on the ground. And get rid of this thing. Oops. Okay, window, shadows, turn them on. That looks cool. Let's see something here. Actually, it would look better if it was in the air, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
This thing is so cool looking, man. It is a really cool looking plane. It just looks like it's going to float. Alright, that's cool. I'm going to save this. So I called it, what did I call it? Slowly 2_3D. Just give you an idea. And a lot of times, if the plane doesn't have a lot of curves in it, you can actually take and triple click these parts here and just copy the whole thing and leave the SketchUp worked up parts on them. Build the whole plane with the things on them and everything. You could do that with the offset lines in it. But it's all about experimenting, so just try it, you know, grab the file and try it. This would be a great, cool little plane to cut out. And it's also a great, cool little plane to practice putting together in 3D, because you can see it has pretty much every element of trying to put something like this together. It's got angles, it's got curves, it's got it all. So I can already see I'm off a little bit on this. But I don't know why I didn't. Let me just fix this. I can't stand it. Sorry. All right, let me bring this up. 0.125. Okay. That's just way out on these sides. It drives me nuts. .125. Okay. Now that means we're going to have to change our angle back here. That's no big deal. We already know how to do that. Just grab that part. Remember, we need an axis to run the pin straight through that. So once you're on the blue, once you're on a flat plane, which is blue, you click it somewhere on there, rotate it over. I gotta find that edge. There. For some reason, one seems like it's off further, doesn't it? And I don't know why. Oh, this thing's not centered. Dang gummit. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on a second. Let me center this. I think it has something to do with the fact that there's no center line here. Hold on a second. Let me see how this is made up of multiple lines. That happened to us before. It ruins it. All right, let's make a solid line across here. If we can find that. There it is. Okay, now let's look for that center line. There it is. And move it over till we're centered with the rest of the stuff. And hopefully that's right. And it is right there. And all we got to do now is actually fix this again. We put our pin in. Just think of it like that. You're putting the pin in there. So that thing has to be perpendicular. Okay. That looks good. There. The Solu. It's awesome. All right, so I'll upload this one, guys, and then you can kind of get an idea how it goes together. If any of you guys want to grab it and take it further, go for it. There's all these little parts here. I haven't even gotten into this. This could be part of the motor mount. I could be completely wrong about putting these here. I just thought that's where they went. These could be wheel hubcaps for all or covers, which I think they might be. So this could actually be the motor mount. I mean, it looks to me like this lines up. It looks to me like these two parts go together. I'm going to try something there. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, these parts go together right here. Let's group that. Also looks like we could flip this one. Not that way. There. Okay, this, I believe we found our motor mount. Could be wrong. What am I doing?
You don't know.
I gotta flip this too. It's not white. It's not white. Flip the one with blue. And you'll notice that this has a slight angle to it. I'm not sure why, but anyway, I need the pin to run left to right through here.
Wood motor mount with 3 degrees thrust was added in.
Aha! So I'm gonna hover over this so I get a nice flat axis mark. We put our 3 degrees in here. Ugh, idiot. Sorry.
It's not true.
What am I doing? Did it again. Alright, click. The pin is set. Now let's bring it over. Now don't forget, you got to account for the foam thickness. So let's move this out 1/8 of an inch. 0.125. Or wait, maybe this is thinner because this is wood, isn't it? Because that doesn't make sense that it would top out like that. So let's move it out 1/16. 0.0625. Because this is 1/8 inch plywood, I bet you.
Good one.
Oh, it's a mystery. It's like a challenge. Just not exactly sure how this motor mic is on yet. But we know it goes up here somewhere. That looks pretty sweet. You know, it might even just slide all the way through there. I'm not sure. Something like that. What am I doing wrong here? For some reason, this does not want to obey the rules of the that we were just talking about with the shift.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. But it should snap to that face at the very least. But maybe because it's angled, it doesn't want to. That's alright. Get it closed. Alright, cool. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it, man. I think that's good. I'm going to get something.
1/8 inch ply up front.
Alright. I'm going to get something to eat. And Brandy, our little dog, just has to get all over me right now.
She's lost her patience.
I think she has to go to the bathroom. So that was cool, man.
Yep.
We'll upload it to the thread and you guys can check it out.
Get down.
Let me see.
Are you going to play our video?
Ooh, yeah. Which one?
The one with us.
Give me 1 second.
So our dog's all ready for St. Patrick's Day.
Did you show her?
No.
She just got groomed. You gotta check her out.
Come here. Come here,
They
you.
gave her a little bandana and everything.
She's not spoiled a bit. Nope, not a bit. She likes the bandanas. It's better than they put these clips in her ears. They're horrible. Little teeny tiny rubber bands. Rip all the hair out when they come out. 30 minutes after she gets home.
Alright, I'm gonna play this video. Unless you're still talking.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so this is our Kickstarter video. one of them. There's actually 2 of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, it'll kind of give you an idea what VSlot is capable of, and there's a couple things in here that we're still working on with the modular system that I think you guys will really appreciate when you see the little hot wire cutter. But anyway, that's all soon to come, so check it out.
What if you could build projects quicker, easier, and more versatile than you ever imagined? What if there was an integrated solution that could help bring your projects to life? VSlot is the first completely integrated linear motion framing system. It was designed to allow every part of your build to be used as a linear rail. Traditional T-slot systems were not designed for linear motion. Over time, the edges dig into the wheel and precision is lost. The solution is VSlot. VSlot incorporates an internal angled V-track on all sides of the extrusion. This allows for a smooth, precise, self-centering linear motion without the loss of precision. It's strong, inexpensive, and simple to use. By design, VSlot offers a wide variety of mounting configurations. These 3D printed VSlot actuators are the building blocks for quick and simple machine assemblies. By connecting multiple VSlot actuators, you have a truly modular system. This allows you to quickly build just about anything you can imagine. VSlot is a new revolution in structural framing. VSlot opens so many doors of creative possibilities and is a new beginning in design and automation. It's leading the way for professionals, hobbyists, kit makers, in fact, anyone wanting to build just about anything. With VSlot, building and designing machines has never been simpler.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Trent.
And we're part of the Open Builds team.
We're a husband and wife team who have been designing and manufacturing machine kits for years. You may also know us from our Open Rail Kickstarter campaign.
For years, makers have been using extruded aluminum T-slot on their builds. And why not? It's great stuff. You can build anything from a coffee table to a complex machine design. It gives you the strength, the precision, and modability to create pretty much anything.
However, in machine design, there's always been the extra added cost of one of the most expensive parts of a machine, the linear guide system.
Until VSlot. For many months of research and development, Open Builds has created VSlot. VSlot, as you know, internally integrates the V-rail system into the T-slot frame. I also love the fact that it's a tight, compact design, where the V-tracks are internal, so there's nothing to get in the way of your designing or building.
This is awesome on so many levels because integrating the linear rail system is going to drive the cost of the machine design down.
And that makes hardware hacking more accessible to everyone. It also brings us makers our own version of a structural framing system.
There's no longer a need for T-slot. We've had 4 dies made of most popular sizes, 20 by 20, 20 by 40, 20 by 60, and 20 by 80. Early bird backers will have the benefit of receiving their VSlot immediately following a successful Kickstarter campaign. In order to keep the cost down, we have to at least meet the minimum requirements of the manufacturer.
We've already had 4 dies made, and it gets pretty expensive, and that's where you guys come in.
That's right. In order for us to move forward, we need your support.
So we want to say thank you, Kickstarter, and thank you, backers, for helping to make VSlot possible.
VSlot is a great tool for makers, and we sure hope to have your support.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so there you have it, man.
That's a sneak peek. We're not live yet. We submitted to Kickstarter today, and it takes them 1 to 2 days to get back to you to approve it. So we're waiting to hear back from them and hoping to be live tomorrow. So check out the announcement on the platform. We'll surely update it as soon as we are live. And if you're interested, or if you know anyone that's interested, we'd sure appreciate your support.
Definitely. Hey, Nate, how's it going, man? Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to open a lot of doors, and, you know, this is what it's all about. We're just trying to bring, you know, quality components at a really affordable price to everyone, you know, so we can create all these super cool machines and just do whatever we want to make out of them. You know, it's just going to be fun, man. And it really is fun. I mean, I'm nonstop with it. And once again, with the SketchUp libraries, we're still working on that. I'm not sure if you guys know, but Open Builds itself, openbuilds.com, is where we're going to share our machine designs. Mm-hmm. And I just want to lay this out there where, thanks, Sean, where, you know, the idea is that, you know, there's a lot of guys that are in RC airplanes that are not into machines at all yet. But the idea is that we want to be able to have a place for the guys that want to put their machine designs on there. And then that'll be open builds. And we actually have somebody helping us. His name's Jason, super cool guy. And he's helping work on it because it's a complicated site. Everything has to kind of network together. And there goes the chat. Sorry. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We're working on that. So as soon as that's up and running, it really should open up a lot of doors. We have lots of plans, lots of ideas. Everything's done in SketchUp, so it's super easy to use. And it's real easy to just put the parts together. And, you know, just like we're doing with this plane, I mean, if you have a piece of extruded T-slot or V-slot laying there, you can rotate it around, interconnect it, see how it's going to bolt together, and, you know, add the motors to it, and just, you know, the same thing with open rail and all the components we work with. You know, we have 3D models for all of them, so we want to be able to, you know, once we post one machine, you'll have all the V wheels, you'll have the nuts and bolts and the free pulleys. Right now, the way we have it set up on the store is that you kind of go there and you download a V wheel and you can download the V wheel model, but really what you need is the whole machine assembled on there, an example machine that has pretty much every part on there. And then as we add parts, you know, other machines will have other parts. If somebody designs a new part, it'll have it on there. So that'll be cool, man. It'll be a lot of fun. And then what we're hoping is that as far as the RC stuff goes, it'll gravitate because, for instance, that little hot wire cutter, I mean, that thing's super cool. It builds really quick. And I'm hoping to be able to use open source hardware, electronics for it. So like the ramps board. So instead of controlling the heat bed for the 3D printer, you can turn around and control the heat of the hot wire as it's cutting. You know, it's just a dual purpose. So, you know, that's just a start. And it's going to be cool, man, because, you know, we're into it. So the machines from there will gravitate into the stuff that we're doing here. One of the biggest things I want to do is take a chunk of foam and just spin it and just start carving, you know, carve out an entire fuselage of a plane. That's something I just can't wait to do. I think it's going to be cool. And a lot of you guys have great ideas. I mean, Mike is telling me ideas he has. Crash for, you know, cutting the carbon fiber and everything like that. He's got a little machine he wants to build for that. So, yeah, so it's going to be cool, man.
And our waiting list for the flat printer and the flat former is growing every day.
Yeah, we got to get those going. They're going to be awesome. And, you know, this whole modular system really makes a huge difference on modifying. And you know, when you guys see the videos again, you'll see we have one machine in there that allows you to kind of, you know, it's a gantry system, but you can drop the whole gantry and kind of set it any height that you want. You know, that's something that I thought would be really cool. If you want to go up really high and engrave something on a trophy, you can. If you want to get down real low center of gravity, and just, you know, carve or whatever you want to do there, CNC mill, you can. So just things like that. The modular not capabilities. Characteristics of it is just, that's what makes it really cool. That you can just keep building and adding onto it, changing it, extend it. You can do so much with it. And the fact that, you know, while you're doing it, you have a linear rail the whole time is awesome. There's still certain things I would use, like open rail. You can use open rail with V-slot, which is awesome. V-slot it's a modular framing system, but
open rail needs an aluminum extrusion to attach to, and V-slot is that aluminum extrusion.
So now we have like our whole structural framing unit. And, you know, if you're going to build a mill and you don't want to have any flex whatsoever or any squishy on the wheels, you know, with the Delrin works great for, you know, light duty stuff, medium duty stuff. But if you really need those wheels not to move at all, then you could use the metal wheels. You can bolt the open rail right to the V-slot. So, you know, that's a whole nother area we haven't even explored yet. We haven't even explored areas where you split two beams and have the gantry plate running between them like Laverne did, KX5. I mean, that was a great idea. It's just going to grow. There's so many cool possibilities. And the way, in my opinion, it's going to help the RC industry. It just drive down the cost of all kinds of machines in that area. I mean, cutting carbon fiber, cutting your wood parts with little mills, having hot wire cutters that you can expand to be as big as you want. You can build these giant hot wire cutters. You can put rotary tables.
Even the flat printer and the flat former should be a fraction of the price that it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're moddable. You can do whatever you want with them. It's so cool, man. So, anyway, that's the plan. We're super excited about it, and you know, we've been burning the candle at both ends trying to get it done. I mean, it's a lot of work to get to that point, but
You're not kidding.
we're at that point, and this time we really wanted to make sure that we were kind of ahead of the game, get the tooling done, get everything done, even have a little small pre-production run so we can say, hey, we're serious about this, and here it is. We do only have a limited amount up front, but you know, the Kickstarter is going to help push us to get this full production run where we can actually drive the cost down to the bottom and get it out to everybody. That's the plan. So that's where we're at, guys. Say a prayer for us, and thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We will see you all on the forum throughout the week, and we'll keep you updated as soon as the Kickstarter goes live. So thanks for everything. God bless. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the platform.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Good night, guys.
Access denied. Server admin status revoked. Your connection to the server has been terminated. See you soon.